Stephen Hawking was a genius, even though he had amyotrophic lateral scoliosis, also known as ALS. He created the black hole theory and many other theories. Stephen Hawking was an English theoretical physicist, cosmologist, and author. Professor Stephen Hawking worked on the basic laws of black hole mechanics. In 1963, Stephen was diagnosed with ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, a rare form of a motor neuron disease, shortly after his 21st birthday. In spite of being wheelchair-bound and dependent on a computerized voice system for communication, Stephen continued to combine family life. He has 3 children and 3 grandchildren. With his research into theoretical physics, Stephen's greatest scientific achievement was a discovery about black holes in 1974 that shook the world of physics. He discovered that black holes are not actually completely black. Instead, due to the subtle consequences of quantum physics, they emit what we now call Hawking radiation.
Stephen Hawking went to school at St. Albans School, and while he was recognized as bright, he was not an exceptional student. He was into mathematics in his early school years. He attended Oxford University at the age of 17 and studied physics, more specifically cosmology, because they didn't offer mathematics. Hawking calculated that he only spent about an hour each day focusing on school, and that was enough time for him. Throughout his last year at Oxford, he was getting more and more clumsy and fell over several times without knowing why. He experienced a fall down some stairs and difficulties when rowing. These problems progressed and his speech began to slightly slow.
With the passing of Stephen Hawking, science has lost not only its most recognizable public figure, but also a remarkable researcher into the nature of black holes. While his final paper may have focused more on some of the essential challenges facing cosmology today, his greatest scientific contributions were in uncovering an incredible quantum truths about the universe by examining its most extreme objects. Black holes, once thought to be static, unchanging, and defined by only their mass, charge, and spin, were transformed through its work into ever-evolving engines that had a temperature, emitted radiation, and eventually evaporated over time. Yet this is now accepted scientific conclusion, interfering the presence and properties of Hawking radiation, had a tumultuous implication that black holes provided a way to destroy information about the universe. Despite 40-plus years of work of the problem by the world's brightest minds, the black hole information paradox still remains unresolved.
Let's talk about artificial intelligence. In a recent op-ed column, you said, and I quote, "Success in creating artificial intelligence would be the biggest event in human history. Unfortunately, it might also be the last." Are you saying that robots are going to destroy humanity? And is that a scientific argument or the pitch for an amazing movie?
Artificial intelligence could be a real danger in the not-too-distant future. It could design improvements to itself and outsmart us all.
I know you're trying to get people to be cautious there, but why should I not be excited about fighting a robot?
You would lose.
Well, okay, to start, we don't know that, do we? We don't know that for sure. Because what could a robot do that I couldn't then fight back with by simply just unplugging him, right?
There's a story that scientists built an intelligent computer. The first question they asked it was, "Is there a God?" The computer replied, "There is now," and a bolt of lightning struck the plug, so it couldn't be turned off.
Holy shit, that's the most terrifying story I've ever heard.
Yes.
Hold on. Who is talking to me right now? Is it you, or is it a sentient computer pretending to talk on your behalf?
It's me.
Yeah, but how do I know that, Professor? Because if computers had become sentient, what better way...
Cannot speak, who cannot move independently, and yet somehow he still found a way.
Sure, Stephen Hawking is a brilliant, groundbreaking scientist, but that's not all the man is about. Here are 10 interesting insights into his life and his views. Number 10. He believes Earth is on its last legs. He gives the planet 1,000 years before it succumbs to its own fragility. Hawking recommends people start shopping around space for a new home base.
If our species is to survive the next 100 years, let alone 1,000, it is imperative we voyage out into the blackness of space to colonize new worlds across the cosmos.
Number 9. Stephen Hawking attended an all-girls school for a time. His family moved to St. Albans, while his father was working in a nearby city. It was there that he and a few other boys attended St. Albans High School for girls. Number 8. In his youth, his nickname was Einstein. Despite the fact that his grades were mediocre, his aptitude was noticed by teachers and students alike. They were right, as he later earned a nearly perfect score on his Oxford Scholarship Physics exam, and went on to become a highly celebrated genius. Number 7. He believes black holes are different from what we think they are. The vortices of doom are said to have event horizons, which serve as both an entrance and a point of no return. Hawking says they don't. Rather, they have apparent horizons and only briefly trap energy and matter, later releasing it as radiation. Number 6. At 21, Hawking was told he only had a few years to live. He was diagnosed with ALS, also called Lou Gehrig's disease, and that the outlook was grim.
At the age of 21, I was told I had an incurable disabling disease that would kill me in 2 or 3 years.
In January of 2014, the physicist celebrated his 72nd birthday. Number 5. He's also a children's book author. In 2007, he and his daughter Lucy published George's Secret Key to the Universe, the first book in a series about a young space traveler. Number 4. He's a big fan of zero gravity. Hawking was among the first with his disability to test out the technology that can send a plane to near space, and in the process got a few moments away from his wheelchair. Said one person who was there, he would have flown more if we let him. Number 3. His voice synthesizer talks in American, but Hawking is British. He and the Queen of England recently had a chuckle about it. She ran into the scientist at an event and asked, "Have you still got that American voice?" Hawking replied, "Yes, it is copyrighted actually." Number 2. He's a repeat guest on The Simpsons. According to Hawking, his several appearances on the show as himself have some people thinking he's actually a cartoon character.
Everyone listens when artists are talking, 'cause artists are smarter than Mr. Stephen Hawking.
Oh yeah, break it down for me, fellas.
Number 1. Hawking doesn't believe God created the universe. For that matter, he doesn't believe in fate, heaven, or an afterlife.
I guess simply put, do you believe in God?
God may exist, but science can explain the universe without the need for a creator.
He does believe that each human has one chance to appreciate the world and its mysteries.
Because every new day could be my last, I have developed a desire to make the most of each and every minute.